we kind of have to. Like, what do you ban against this team? How do you prevent them from getting the Xin Zhao setup that they want? Because right now, Hanwha Life is like, Kanavi's like first pick. Yeah, that's what I was kind of, that's what I wanted. Like, you mean I get to get my jungle pick? I'm about that. Can you ban Xin Zhao? And what is the cost? Is like what we might find out or we might not, as Nongshim banned the more meta picks, and then we end up with a Xin Zhao first pick for Kanavi, and that's how it goes. Like Ashe, you don't have to ban it, but is Gumayusi, he just pick up World's Finals MVP on it. It's one of the most meta AD carries. It's game 2, like a little scary.
3 AD carries here, banned away. One of them flexible to the top lane. That's just by HLE. Of course, Ashe on the other side, who we were just talking about, makes 4. So really trying to put a lot of pressure on this AD carry pool. It does leave Rumble available if it weren't going to be banned. So
what do you think?
Banned.
First pick. Any guesses?
Bard?
It could be. Did you really think it was going to be Bard? Are you serious? You were just joking.
No,
he was just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, he already wrote down Xin Zhao. Well, I just, so you picked second pick. What you got? You knew this was coming. Like, if you're like, oh, man, they picked Xin Zhao. I didn't expect that one coming. I'm really worried. Okay, it's going to be Azir, which is a scout favorite, so I like that. Just in a vacuum, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, Orianna gone, Ryze, Aurora gone.
What?
I mean, it is Zeka. You could just
Bard,
play Kali.
Lulu, something strong on the bottom lane. I mean, there's no Yunara, but there's still other picks you can play with the Lulu. Bard empowers a lot of bottom lanes. You don't need to get a jungle right now. Poppy.
Now, I think Sponge has played that a decent amount in the past. He did just have a crazy pop-off game with it against, against Bro. But that was against
Jhin
Bro,
Bard
right?
enjoyers, by the way. I'm just asking because it's available. They picked Poppy,
and
which is now no longer playable in support. And
you can just play the same style.
You can literally just do the same thing every series and play it incredibly well and generate massive gold leads, and no one can stop you.
And they banned away 3 AD carries. And Ashe is banned.
Oh! He went to the other one.
Now, this is flexible. This could be a pick for Zeka and Azir, which he has done before.
I actually think you probably should ban Jhin just in case. If you're no
I think you should.
You kind of get the angle to maybe do that this time. Like, ban Jhin Akali? That's kind of safe, right? Like, then you covered your bases a little bit.
Well, now they're picking Gnar, which is good blind, but you're going to have to protect it with some bans, which means that maybe Jhin gets through?
What bans do they drop here, though? Is they gonna, like, because if you ban Vayne, he could play Kennen, he could, there's a few things he could do here. He could play Anivia. I probably won't in this matchup, but I personally, I'm like, it's Zeka, it's Guma, Jhin, Akali.
Yeah. Well, Vayne kind of has to
They're
be
like,
banned.
no, I'm not going to play against Vayne in the top lane, and so.
But I also think that Jhin deserves a look-in.
I think of the picks we've mentioned, in my mind, probably if you've watched the LCK, you probably know this. Akali is the least concerning, but it is Zeka, and it is the matchup into Azir that he has excelled at and won a world championship in part through. So Lucian will be banned away. That's a smart choice. As this is, I think, in my mind, 100% a jungle Poppy pick. This is not ever going to be played into a Bard lane, especially not a potential Ziggs Bard lane, but Jhin? You gonna let him have it, or you're not gonna let him have it? Remember, Zeka is 1. Okay, yes. All right, yes,
we did it.
Zeka is 1-0 on this Ziggs pick in the mid lane and popped off on it. So we know he likes to play this. We know he likes the matchup. A lot of players do, in fact, including players like Chovy. But Do you ban Kalista here? Corki?
Yeah, Corki.
I don't think Kalista's as big of a concern, but they think it is. I mean, it's a lot of consistent damage that you don't necessarily have. We don't know what Guma's playing yet, but with what we have right now, with the information we have, Kalista is pretty scary.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you can just play Ziggs if you feel like the lane is playable. Corki, definitely kind of the next AD carry on the tier list. Get away from Bard ults and stuff like that.
Sivir. And if they pivot, I mean, I don't think there's any way you can turn around this bottom side. Like, there's no jungle pick Sponge can pick that makes this feel better. The Jarvan's already gone. Like, I don't think you ever want to play Poppy in this bottom lane. So we kind of know what we're going to get. And it could just end up being a Nami for the Corki. This is the pick for Zeus. And I joked that he wouldn't play the Anivia here, but he said, actually, yes, I will.
Yeah.
And Kingen's laughing because he's also an Anivia top enjoyer. At least I think that's why he's laughing. And the Nami comes through.
All those AD carry bans just for them to get Corki Nami. It's honestly pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like this draft here, once again, for Nongshim RedForce. Had a lot of win cons. The bottom lane is a little bit tricky, but I think it's definitely winnable. It's much more playable than what they had last time around. Top side, it's going to take a really good Anivia performance to like control that lane early and really get ahead on it. The Poppy is also quite versatile here because it can set up engages, works well with Azir, as we've all seen many, many times across the years, but also can warp a team fight where Zeka isn't able to layer the damage if you have Prio, and then they try to play through Sivir. You knock half the team away. She doesn't have any way to clean up the fight after that. So, just like game one, I think Nongshim have a good draft. They have the tools to beat what Hanwha Life have. And even though, they warded a lot, still got caught by Kanavi in game one, like they made some plays topside. They know what they're doing. We'll see if maybe this time around they can find that consistency. Maybe they don't step over the line a little bit too much, as we saw there, like that play on the red buff where they got caught by Guma, stuff like that. If they can tune that up, we could have a series on our hands. Nongshim are definitely one of our top 5 teams right now. That much is clear. We'll see if they can beat Hanwha Life.
Yeah, it takes a lot to beat this team, but maybe they got it in the tank here for game number 2. HLE up against Nongshim RedForce as we hop into the rift again. Alrighty, game number 2. We already saw our first series was relatively one-sided. KT, a little bit of a slow start, but eventually it was like, oh, yeah, it's KT, and it's Sivir Yumi. I'm hoping that this game can be, a little bit of back and forth, maybe like a 40-minute fight, perhaps,
Yeah.
Just had like a 24-minute game in our first series as well. Maybe a little bit of extra League of Legends could come through.
Okay, barrier employed here for Taeyoon. Got a little bit of a health trade, but not really one I think they hoped for more out of that. Race to level 2 is on, but Guma and Delight have the advantage. There's the heal.
Yeah. So now up a summoner is Guma and Delight. They have Guma's barrier, is going to use it here. It's still very good pressure being put on by Taeyoon and Lehends.
Really well played by Taeyoon there, getting a lot of that health down.
Yeah, and they go. Delight hits level 2 first. Going to try to slow Taeyoon down with the binding, and that he does.
So minions will be denied here, and I think that'll be the end of the aggressive action. Looks like Lehends and Taeyoon want to push an extra wave in, which would further the lead. And Hanwha Life eSports are not going to stay, so that will cost them some money. I really do think that if Hanwha Life eSports' comp falls behind here, it is incredibly difficult to play. But they generally, I mean, we keep pulling up the numbers. You mentioned you wanted a longer game, maybe a 40-minute back and forth.
Yeah.
Love that.
Would be nice.
for me, I'm like, all right, let's see if Kanavi, you know, if he's building Sundered Sky, and we have a game, he's decided, he's like, well, we get a little bit of a game, or if he's going Titanic Hydra, and he's like, sorry, we're not gaming. It's going to be, I'm going in, I'm all-inning, it's going to be over quick. But maybe it's in the other way. If he fails with that aggression, as Mega's out. Never you mind the egg.
Fancy wings? I guess birds have feet as well.
Maybe it looks like she's walking with how she moves, but she is flying.
Yeah.
Floating. Hey, Buzz Lightyear falling with style thing going on.
Just kind of hanging out above the ground. Sponge here on vision. So this time, gank not going to work out. Kanavi did not do a level 3 gank. He just farmed everything, put a ward down, and backed.
He got a lot of vision on the top side. And we'll now head over to clear bottom side as it comes up. Zeka is going to expend his mana here to push this wave in. And we'll find a back timing. Zeus really putting the pressure on this top side as here's Guma.
Yeah, and guess who's also here? It's Kanavi, and he's ready to party. This time, though, they're pretty close to the turret, so only going to get the Nami flash. Oh, he's going back.
Of course he is.
He's like, wait, where'd it go? Where's the magical journey? I want to go back in again. Can you make another one, Delight?
Delight's like, man, don't push me on my cooldowns.
What's going on here? Oh, the play from Zeus and it's first blood from the Anivia. I think with the minions especially, should just be a kill on the egg here. Well, not quite, but he is still going to get the kill. As at least Sponge was there to spare the blushes of Kingen.
Yeah, this ends up being okay. A lot of gold given over because he got the assist, so a lot of money to the side of Nongshim, but a little bit scarier with the money going over to the Anivia. More of it, at least a larger share here in the case of Zeus. As that was really well played by Zeus there. Kind of like, almost made it seem like he was tricking Kingen. He's like, I flashed and I kind of messed it up. Kingen's like, all right, I'm over here. I got you. And he's like, electrocute, baby. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
He's like, I got the outplay, and then electrocute goes zap. Sponge was here, which is why Kingen was trying to make that turnaround happen, but got a little bit ahead of himself and died before he could make that happen.
Uh-oh. Guess who doesn't have flash?
The Nami, I think.
Yeah.
I was right, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're paying attention. Good job, Wolf. And Kanavi picks up a kill. Kill number 2 for Hanwha Life eSports, and a really nice angle there from Delight.
Well, that's a really great usage of the Bard again. Kanavi is a big Journey enjoyer. He doesn't stop believing.
Yeah.
And it's like a kid's playpen for him as Kingen having a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, having to flash the stun is a big issue. No egg available, though, so Zeus just has to get out of there. But that's no flash now on Kingen. As in goes Taeyoon once again, and this time Kanavi is not here, actually. So it's not a bait from Guma.
Zeka does not have teleport, so he may lose a plate. I'm not actually sure how big Scout's wave is, in fact, so maybe he won't. Yeah, it doesn't like he's going to be able to take that away. So just looking at the minimap. And it's being a successful move there from Zeka at relatively low cost. High value. The early game here not going explosively yet the way of Hanwha Life eSports. Some great aggressive plays, but Nongshim doing quite fine. They're looking for their 2-item spike on this Corki much later on. The Azir, side lane Wincon, Nashor's Tooth, and Poppy for team fights. They do not need to get ahead early. Just need to make sure they don't fall too far behind. Which so far, I would say they're on track.
Yeah, just hanging out, waiting for a bit. Taeyoon's getting a nice push in here. And yeah, unfortunately Guma, you know, he had to dig a little bit deep into his champion pool, but he's great at Sivir as Zeka rather in a lot of trouble here. A very nice setup from the side of Scout. Tried to just satchel his way out, which was smart, but at the end of the day, no flash means Azir will inevitably get you.
He's gonna get you. Was actually another kill to Sponge, though. Unfortunately for Scout, but not that a Poppy isn't going to enjoy the gold, but the Azir getting accelerated towards those spikes I was talking about just moments ago would have been better. But you're still knocking Zeka off the map, so Scout here playing very aggressively. Satchel attempt, but Scout gets him just on the end, and this is that synergy I was talking about with the charge into the wall from Poppy with the Azir. A lot easier, or sorry, easier to say than to do is what I was trying to get at there.
Yeah.
The execution of it looks simple, but actually quite precise.
Well, I know Sponge is here, and he's going to hit that binding, but now able to taxi over the wall onto Delight, who's kind of in an awkward spot. Doesn't want to magical journey the tiny wall there. And of course, Kanavi's in here with Delight, trying to steal the blue buff away. Looks like he should be able to pretty easily. Dragon, Infernal, still not taken. Nice binding there, but Taeyoon getting aggressive, doing a bunch of damage to Delight, who's just trying to walk this one off.
Taeyoon is having a great game.
Ooh, Kanavi, he's gonna get stunned into the wall as the Crescent Guard not able to be utilized. And Sponge, again on this Poppy, just popping off.
He's really good at this pick, and they're utilizing it well in this early game. Scout still missing his ultimate here, so he needs to be careful about getting hit by too much because the ult is coming.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's going to be Sponge just saying, absorb the pressure. I'm going to grab this dragon. A plate does go over here to Kingen as well. Really like this game state for Nongshim. Like, everything is going exactly the way it needs to. Arguably better than it needs to for this team to find success here. Now, because they have a numbers advantage, Zeka's so far away, as well as the Azir is here, there's really no inherent risk for Taeyoon to actually Valkyrie forward like that. And then this bubble is the real story. Sponge gets the wall slam there, and down he goes. Navi opts not to flash away. Bubble just on the edge. Scout has his ult back. Looks like Hanwha Life eSports are going to get grubs, but that's it's very important in a lot of different team compositions. I think for Ziggs, you always feel really good if you have grubs, but not something that Nongshim are set up to fight for, and they're hoping that it's going to be a stronger soul, and they can continue to stack these dragons.
Yeah, it's Infernal into Chemtech, so pretty interesting to see what it is.
Again,
another bubble gonna hit here from Lehends. This time Delight does get a very nice magical journey. That wall can sometimes be a little tricky, but he gets out alive. Zeka being very annoying in mid. Desperately wants that overgrowth.
He is gonna get the Scout teleport, so that's gonna give him a teleport advantage. Kingen doing pretty well, all things considered, despite having that rougher time earlier. Got the assist and is farming this out. He will be a bigger threat later on in this game, especially with the setup that with this comp, where there's a lot of different tools to allow him to play through his Narbar, Poppy buying time, Emperor's Divide, etc. The Anivia is also getting stronger, but is just now completing Rod, so doesn't really have a ton of kill pressure anymore. As 2v2 down here.
Yeah, Taeyoon is already chunking out, although On the Hunt does come through, and Taeyoon is going to throw out the barrier. Doesn't want to have to flash. Guma goes for his barrier as well. Kanavi was here, and now Sponge on the flank. 3-0 Poppy looking to do some damage, and he takes out the AD carry Sivir. Down goes Guma, and that's a fourth kill for Sponge.
Delight opts to flash. Guma does not. And he ends up getting knocked up by the ultimate there. And ends up dying. 4 kills on the Poppy. Not ideal in terms of where you want the kills to be, but pretty strong in terms of what it's meant for them on the map. Getting them through this early game with flying colors. And this Poppy is, going to be big.
Doing a great job of dodging the abilities there was Kingen, as Zeus says, I'm fine to go into my egg. I'll just do a bunch of damage to you as well. Delight also on his way up here.
Yeah, Kingen realizes, well,
yeah, there it is, forces the flash.
I thought with the back off there of Kingen, he knew it was not just going to be a 1v1.
It's just under the wall. I mean, Sponge on the Poppy, not invulnerable, still has to play it safely as the, oh no, not the cone, he's able to taxi over, although Kanavi, he wants more, as the Ziggs ult just barely gonna miss. The whip becomes lightning. Oh, the predict, but he doesn't fall for it. Sponge just walks in a straight line, and he gets away with his big bounty.
That was pretty insane. Sponge playing that really well.
Taeyoon.
Yeah, well. Nami's coming. He's chilling. There ain't no egg on that bird. He's fine.
Is he floating or flying? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just a philosophical question.
Scout, what's going on here? Looks like he wanted to push the wave, and now he's going to have to flash a Q. Kind of unfortunate for him, as now the bubble once again going to hit, and Zeus with the rod, with the fadeaway, gets out. And Lehends says, all right, I'll just take the kill.
Okay, well, this electrocute late proc situation for Zeus has really been working out. So Taeyoon, you can't flash that one. Just a little bit late on it. Lehends does pick up the kill, but that's not really what he wanted.
They want to try to go in on Sponge again.
Sponge is like, I'm Poppy. You can't chase me easily. I'm very resistant to your damage. And he is going to get away and be totally fine. Imagine, though, if
By the way, Sponge is down a level on Kanavi. 4-0 down a level.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Down a full level, by the way.
Like you to take a close look at the camps cleared number.
Yeah. So all of those kills, you know, he's able to get an early spike, but like he's only had 200 gold.
How much does that, you know, the lead that Sponge got and the money that he has matter in the grand scheme of things? Meaning, like, I think for me, his impact is not in the gold he's carrying, but the fact that his laners were able to end up being in a really nice spot here heading into the mid game, and he set that up. Like, it's kind of reminiscent of Peanut in a lot of the past games he's had on Poppy, where he's kind of patching holes everywhere. He's making some great mechanical plays, and suddenly the game feels like, okay, we're heading exactly where this comp is supposed to go. Kingen, he needs to head away from that. That's where he wants to go.
Yeah.
And it's a race for first brick.
I think HLE win this one.
Looks likely. Zeus is going to start hitting this turret again. It's close, but there's no wave here for Scout anymore.
Grubs as well. It's just pretty easy, although eventually Scout will get it. Taeyoon trying to go in on this one, and Sponge is here. So that explains that. Another, tons of damage going in, and he might just get healed by the Nami.
Disengage Nami heal.
Yeah, that one actually, you know, you have to think about it and press your abilities. And this is going to be huge. I mean, the Ziggs is getting a lot of free time with the mid turret.
I don't know about this.
Sponge doesn't really get to do anything.
We are heading to, you know, a late game where both these teams are quite strong, but I think Nongshim need to carry the momentum with the Drake lead they have to get Soul Point, and it's Ocean Soul, unfortunately, right? Like, this is one of the questions we had earlier. Could have been Hex Tech, you know, could have been Mountain for this Poppy.
Yeah.
Instead, we end up with Ocean, so that's not great, but I think they still need to try to leverage the lead that they have, especially on this Azir Corki, with Corki heading towards that 2-item spike in a few minutes. Because if they get to late game, for example, this Poppy that has a lot of the money, isn't even ahead because of the camp clear, is going to get cut down by the Sivir. It's a fairly similar situation to what we had with aiming earlier on today, that KT series, where the Sivir becomes a big threat later on, but they also have a lot of consistent damage across 2 other threats. And Kanavi is a great front line here. So you want to get to the team fights, you want to get a bigger lead with team fights on your 2-item Corki spike before the Sivir just becomes so difficult to topple. So much so to where, like, if you get on top of her, she just, like, kites a little bit and autos you and you die, and you're like, wow, I guess I'm not Poppy anymore. I don't know what I am.
In the gray screen.
Accurate.
Yeah, that's the only value. Kanavi does now have a gold lead on top of the now level and a half that he has over him. He's even ahead of Zeka in terms of that. So he's just been power farming. Like, Kanavi, Titanic Hydra's first item, and he's like, all right, now I get to clear the camps in like 2 seconds. And, you know, he's been aggressive at times, but he's just a good jungler.
Yeah, he's just measured, you know?
He just does the right thing at the right time.
Exactly. This would be the kind of game where if you got POM and he was like, I did what my team needed, I'd be like, yes.
No, it's a delayed PLM.
Well, I mean, they have to win first. Right now, Nongshim, 400 gold lead.
Yeah.
You and I did not just commentate a game just like, what, 2 hours ago, where it was a team that was the underdog that had a significant lead, even bigger than this one.
Yeah.
And they did not end up winning the game. But I'm optimistic for Nongshim. You know, maybe that fan is going to be eating Nongshim ramyeon only for a month. Could be.
Yeah. It's not very balanced to eat one thing over and over.
Well, I mean,
you have to choose one.
Well, of one specific type of ramyeon. You know?
Oh, okay. Well, nice try here from Delight. Not going to get it, though. Going to create some space, I suppose, as Zeus hits the wall. Taeyoon with the fancy feet. I mean, he's dodging everything. Not going to change the fact that HLE are just trying to pummel down the mid lane.
Double, side lane pressure here.
Yeah.
So this is really good for Nongshim if they can get away with this. If they get this top turret.
Uh-oh. The re-engage. Who could have seen this coming? As the ult flash comes in, the Temper Fate is there, and they want to get that big bounty on the Sponge. And yes, the egg goes down for Zeus, but that's a ton of gold that just goes over to Zeka, and even catches Taeyoon as well. Because I'm not really sure what happened to him. He kind of just got caught. Meanwhile, Kingen with Gnar and TP is just killing the top lane turret.
The best analogy I can give for this situation is Hanwha Life eSports' aggressive pressure is so strong with Herald and the stack of minions they have that they're basically like pulling a rubber band. Like, it's quite elastic what Nongshim is trying to do. Look at the side lanes. They have the Azir, they have the Gnar on the top side. And Sponge is trying to delay this, right, as best as he can. He's trying to stop Kanavi's engage so they can clear this wave. They end up getting the egg. But eventually, like, the band will snap. You know, if you don't end up sending people over here, Sponge ends up going down, and Scout decides he's going to TP in here, and he really makes almost no impact in the play. Had he stayed, he might have been able to get some additional plates. Kingen got the whole turret as well topside, so they got a lot of money to the soul laners, but HLE, I think, got way more in this play, in this exchange. They take a gold lead.
Yeah, that they do. I saw Taeyoon, I wanted to see how he got caught. He was actually trying to kill the egg, and then Zeus just flashed on him with the Q and absolutely just outplayed him, as now a bunch of damage goes into Kanavi, and even in the Crescent Guard, he just gets blown up.
And that should be the third dragon here. Sole point for Nongshim. I have to get maybe a bit more of a look of exactly how that setup all went down, but Kanavi perhaps his tendencies getting the better of him on this one. Crescent Guard often makes you feel immortal when you go in like that, especially when you have so much follow-up between the Ziggs, Super Mega Death Bomb, and the Sivir is going to do a lot of damage on top of your engage. So like, they have the mid push. Zeka's here doing the damage. Look how much damage they do initially to Lehends and Scout. It's like, oh my god. But Scout's the one who's challenged. He does the damage here, and the rest of the team can do nothing but kind of look on and try to push mid. It's a really good reaction from Scout. Fantastic ultimate.
Yeah.
It's like, as we all did, he expected Kanavi to go in like that, and he was ready.
Lehends hit the tidal wave, and immediately the sweep came in, and by the time he was able to press any buttons, he was just dead. So, nice little play there.
I don't know, we're kind of getting the game you were asking for. I don't know if it's going 40, but...
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit early to declare it a game, but at least, it's been close. It's been back and forth, so I do appreciate that. And HLE, going to clear out all this vision. I was like, are they really going to start the Baron? Not at this point.
Not quite. They don't have
TPs.
Yeah, they don't have enough damage yet. Like, the Sivir kind of almost does, but just too risky. Kingen didn't have TP. But Sivir's gonna have a little bit of a vision fight here. This is where this is Kanavi's home right here, by the way. Like, this is where he lives. So, of course, they're gonna come over here and try to apply pressure and win that vision war. And they want Nongshim to commit to a fight here without their Corki. Try to fight with this Gnar. Guma wants that too.
He really does live here. I mean, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Menacingly.
He's like, please get out of my house on your side of the map. It's actually where I live.
Yeah.
It says it's in your property, but it's actually just not true. I've been disputing it for years.
Yeah, he ripped up the deed.
Baron got a little disco for a second there.
He does that sometimes. A little wacky Baron.
Is it Luden's companion or what caused that to happen?
Might be this cool new Ziggs
The
skin.
Ziggs skin, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the
It's a
culprit.
cool one. I know how Ox feels about it. Like, it's a cool skin, but it takes away from pool party Ziggs pick rate. So he's not too happy about it.
I've never actually been to a pool party with Ox, if I'm being honest with you, Valdes. I feel like based on his passion for this,
Yeah.
it would be rad. Is
Me
Sponge?
too. Sponge? Yeah.
Okay. We should set that up.
I mean, that's a
Summer's
win.
coming around the corner.
I'm down.
Let's make a pool party happen. We did once go to a pool with Ox and Cronny when he was still here. It was great. But it was not officially a party, I would
It's
say.
not quite the same, yeah.
No.
It doesn't have the same vibe. As once again, they're trying to get on top of Kanavi here, who is not going to Crescent Guard, just going to rely on Delight to save him. There's the Crescent Guard, and now Sponge, very much isolated from the team, but one disengaged cone against the Worlds. Might get it done, but no, not quite, as Zeka gets in. And that's the end of the Noshim. Yeah, Taeyoon just got popped over the wall straight into the enemy team, so he had the Valkyrie away. Kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Why that would happen.
That wall, very annoying. Kanavi said, "Get out of my house! That's where I live."
Or I'll make you.
I do not know what Noshim can realistically try to do here without a jungler. They're going to try to look for a scout player. His Flash and Emperor's Divide, but he's zoned away.
Yeah, aggressive Satchel just to discourage him from going in, as Kingen does not have Mega Gnar either. There's the Baron, and Kingen wants to do something as he's desperately trying to get Mega Gnar, and eventually he got it! Lands the stun onto Kanavi, tons of damage coming out from Taeyoon as well. Look at this Corki just going man mode alongside a scout who just goes down. The Satchel desperately trying to help out there, but it's not enough. The bubble helps Taeyoon collect that double kill, and only Zeka survives with the Baron.
That Gnar play, this is why Kingen was one of the OG Gnars back in his era, because he's just so good at this kind of stuff. But when you look at Gnar going in like that, as this fight looks initially like it's kind of a disaster for Noshim, right? Sponge gets chunked down super low, and Noshim kind of just have to leave him out to dry. There's just no playing for this. Kingen uses Mega, or gets his Mega popped early, so doesn't have it, has to recharge it after this TP back in. But like Kingen's like, I think I can build this. Like, he's at 0. He's like, yeah, I can play this. When you watch this moment, you're like, wow, what is he doing? But when you see it actually play out, he's got it calculated. He knows he can pull this off, and he buys so much space for Scout to do insane damage. Scout does so much over the wall, and the Taeyoon follows up. And this Corki Azir is working a treat, and Taeyoon is just really having a great game on it right now.
He absolutely is.
Speaking of,
Temper Fate not going to hit. Zeka also hopping over the wall. And I don't know what they're going to do about this Ocean Soul.
just going to give it, I think.
Yeah, they're just going to give it away.
And honestly, Ocean Soul is pretty crazy into the Ziggs poke.
Kingen, got to be careful. No hop for him. He has Mega, though. The Crescent Guard going to be huge. The Sponge ult also going to miss. And Kanavi lives basically forever.
And this is why Kingen is one of the OG Gnar players of his era here in the LCK. Because he knows he's actually totally safe in this situation. He's not going to get picked. Absorb the pressure and allow his teammates to retreat. All right, at least Zeka laughed at the joke.
That makes one of us.
The game state is quite difficult to define, because now you got IE for the Sivir, right? The Sivir has 400 gold lead, but has that item advantage over the Corki. Corki just now picks up Rapid Fire Cannon. These two items, I think, are difficult to define in terms of their parity right now, but I like Hanwha Life's comp for setting up the Sivir for success. But I kind of want to say I like the Rapid Fire Cannon more with the impact that Sponge and crew and Scout have been able to set up for Taeyoon to have. Like, Lehends is also really having a great game on this Nami. This game is incredibly close. Ocean Soul, like in a vacuum on paper, Caster Buzzwords is like not the best soul. We don't like it that much, but it's kind of okay here. Real prizes are like Elder and the next Baron. These are where the game is headed. Those are the next big things, as the next small thing is trying to catch Kingen.
I mean, they're using everything to try to get him, and they got nothing.
This is why Kingen is one of the best.
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, I can tell.
Side lane pressure, pulls them to the top side. Scout pushing bottom side. And they get the mid wave cleared out from the Sivir. And it's going to be you know, a little while before we have another team fight, you have to imagine, despite Hanwha Life eSports trying to pinch, trying to catch Kingen there.
Yeah, probably just got to wait for the Baron at this point. You can see everybody just desperately trying to farm up as much gold as possible, get some spikes before then. I do wonder where Zeus is going next, as he has the arm guard. I thought he was going to back and maybe buy something. Not quite the case.
Deathcap got to be getting super close here for Scout. You know, once he picks that up, he is going to do insane damage. He's already done insane damage this game, but not as much as Taeyoon.
What is going on here? The catch in mid lane gonna just find Guma by himself, and guess who's also here? Zeka.
The bubble!
And Zeus is like, well, I can try to stop this wave pushing, and he actually might be able to.
If Delight doesn't have Michaelis, he might actually be dead there.
No objective here for Nongshim, unfortunately,
yeah,
but
still a big win.
Gotta feel good.
Big sack of gold.
They want to zone Zeus off of this turret, and I think they should be successful. Yeah.
It's going to go down here. It's the outer and mid. It's taken a long time to take it down, but they get it. And surely Scout is poised to back here, maybe after this wave, and pick up Deathcap. We'll watch this again. Guma just takes a big chunk and gets flashed on by Sponge. Really nice ultimate from him. And unfortunately, Zeka was just kind of a extra casualty there, trying to maybe clear the wave and protect the turret.
Yeah, I think it feels kind of similar to what Aiming did. Different situation, but it's like, I'm Sivir, I have ult and flash, I should be totally fine. And then it's like, you find out very quickly. It's like, oh no, they're all there, and they slowed me. I guess I'm dead. So pretty unfortunate. I guess for them, it's lucky that there's no objective, because if Nongshim get those picks in a Baron,
yeah,
we've got a real game on our hands, and they will be handily in the lead from there.
Yeah, they'd be like 3-4K up probably after something like that. As Scout's going to buy his Deathcap. He has TP. So there is that. That is a huge, huge spike for this Azir that's already had a significant impact in this game. 17 seconds till Baron. And look at where Hanwha Life eSports are. They are so far away from it. Kingen has TP, can join at a moment's notice. Hanwha Life eSports game plan actually very tricky here. Like, what do you do without vision, without full information? You got to leapfrog forward. This comp can do so much damage if it can close the distance onto Nongshim, but it just has such little information. As Kanavi and crew are just going to try to push the mid wave as a response. There's the TPs.
Yeah, I mean, fight-wise, they're just going to look for Kingen. I mean, he's kind of isolated, but he's able to hop away, and so is Zeus. He's just probably going to die. At least he goes golden, and the chase is on the top side as Zeus puts up a wall. Taeyoon has to flash to get him, and Kingen is already dead, as they should be able to trade for Zeus at least. But no flash here as Zeka, he is going to be caught big time, just out in the middle of nowhere. Now Kanavi goes in on a Taeyoon and says, I will tank for you, gets shredded so quickly by Taeyoon's damage. And Guma was never really able to join the fight. Delight's going to go down, and Guma's just pulling the wave desperately, trying to keep this game alive.
Yeah, he is just going to run into the base here and try to even grab this wave, and he actually will be able to get most of it, if not all of it, which is hilarious with that Sivir. And actually he doesn't even get the kill to execute. What? All right, well, that's cool and all, but they're still getting Baron and a massive lead on top of it. I think one of the biggest problems for this fight here for Hanwha is the Tempered Fate, actually, because it buys Kingen so much space. Almost like Kingen has Zhonya's here. And if they are able to focus him down faster, then I think this is a much easier turn for Hanwha Life eSports. They still get him, but the Anivia is already out of the picture, and Zeka is isolated completely here on the left side of the fight. And he has to flash the bubble, but then still gets caught here.
He could have flashed back to the team, by the way.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been the angle. There were a lot of things going wrong here for Hanwha Life eSports, but they just could not get the damage onto Taeyoon. And Nongshim are looking super coordinated today. And Guma, some shenanigans here, but the Baron does go the way of Nongshim.
There's an Elder alive.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Guma's not alive yet. And he is very fast though, so I don't think Nongshim think they can run this one down. So it might just be a straight up 5v5 with some mid pressure from Nongshim.
Yeah, Scout's gonna go over there at level 18 and start putting some work onto this turret. And this is really difficult for Hanwha Life eSports also to burst down, although they have a Sivir here. There's also a Poppy ultimate. You know, there's a lot of things going on in this one, so let's see how it plays out.
Valdes vision on the top side. And look at the damage already into Zeka. And that's the satchel down on top of it all. This is looking so good for Nongshim, although they're able to get sponged, but the reset on the Elder means that that's just going to be the end of Kanavi. Getting super low, though, is Scout. And this Elder's not yet done. Zeus wants to get in with the stun. He hits two, but the follow-up is not there. Guma is too low. And I think with the smites, yeah, Hanwha Life is just going to have to back away. The smite comes through for Sponge. And he's got the angle.
He's looking to lock the door here. Taeyoon with the backstop.
The burn's coming through. And if they hit Guma once, he's just dead. As there he goes. He is dead. And all of the executes come through, except for Zeka. But only a matter of moments before he does go down as well. Double kill for Taeyoon and Nongshim. Take a huge fight as
what
they look
game
to push mid.
For Nongshim. They are looking phenomenal in this one. This has been the most mind-boggling thing for Nongshim fans this season, is that they've had these incredibly high highs. And then they'll lose to QMDRX on an off day.
2-0, by the way.
2-0, by the way. Kingen's on this off angle. The Lehends ultimate buys some space here, but there is a chance, right, for Hanwha Life eSports to get in here and get serious work done. But the reset comes through, in part due to the Tempered Fate. And now Kanavi can't focus the Dragon, right? He's going to get taken out. And the health bars are super low, and there's just nothing they can do. Like, there's no Ziggs bomb. They just kind of feebly toss things at it, and Sponge was always going to lock them in here. And they just pop like balloons. And now we're seeing the push down mid. And the siege is unreal with this composition at this point. Kingen's in the top lane. He has TP, so he can join at a moment's notice, but he's also prepping that wave. Baron for 15 more seconds. I mean, this almost feels like a done deal, Valdes.
Should be at least 2 inhibitors, is what I would expect. Nongshim are grouping in mid. Honestly, I don't know if they can end against Anivia and Ziggs.
Yeah, the Baron's gone.
You can see that they're trying their best to get in there a little bit as the aggressive satchel trying to catch them, as everything just gonna miss Scout as he goes golden afterwards and does a little does a little dance.
He did a Star Fox 64 U-turn right there.
Yeah. Zeus desperately trying to stop this wave from going into the turret, and he will be successful.
Yeah, they stopped the wave.
Elder for 30 seconds.
Top inhibitor is just gone. Like, I think they should be able to get this because the super minions are now starting to hit the base. But maybe Hanwha Life eSports hang on by a thread. I mean, they're 10,000 gold behind.
Yeah, you can see HLE just desperately trying to clear the waves, but Zeus is taking way too much damage. Goes golden. Sponge taking them all the turrets as he goes into egg. That's not going to be enough just yet, but they do kill the egg almost immediately. So that's the end of Zeus and the end of a lot of this wave clear.
Delight, if he can get his ultimate up, could buy more time as well. But they need...
Oh, that burst in. Yeah, you can see the Ziggs bomb. Trying to clear the wave, and they will be successful at
5 seconds on Delight's
ult. Trying to get the kills, but Sponge is going to go down. Going a little bit too aggressive there.
Delight's ult's up. I mean, they really need to be careful here.
Yeah, he's looking for it, but instead he might just die. There he goes, and Guma flashing over that one. Taeyoon going in. He wants to end this game, and he might have just done so. I mean, we got another wave coming in. That's 2 more kills, and Taeyoon with a couple of crits might get it done. Just gotta hit these turrets down and end the game for Nongshim, as there's the Gnar into the wall and the damage is done. Nongshim will force a game number 3 against Hanwha Life eSports.
Nongshim playing clean. The amount of absorption of pressure Kingen had in so many of these team fights. Sponge with a performance on this Poppy that I don't even want to say was unreal because we saw it just recently, but he gets the pick.